Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, JT Open Stuff. Today, guys, we are going to talk about something that I've been wondering for years. And the question is, how many people sunk boatloads of money into this toy line thinking that they were going to have a collector's jackpot in the years that followed? It's got to be a lot, because you guys know, if you're toy collectors like me, every antique store, every estate sale, every thrift shop you go in, if you see a figure, 9 times out of 10, it's probably a Star Trek figure. Now, having thought that, I just want to do this video to kind of get your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm going to give you some of my thoughts on it. We're going to go over 6 of these Star Trek The Next Generation figures, and we're going to discuss what we think about them, because I think that there's both reason for skepticism as to why people bought them in the first place, but I also can understand to a certain degree why people bought them in the first place. So with that, we're going to get into this video, guys. And if you haven't already, do me a favor. Wherever you have to go to subscribe to the channel, click that subscribe button. Like this video today if you enjoy it. And let's just open up a conversation about why Star Trek figures are quite possibly the worst collector's figures in the history of toys. Agree? Disagree? Let's argue it out in the comments down below. Now, for this video, I went to a vintage toy shop in Jacksonville that I go to quite often, and I noticed on the display that there was a sign, Star Trek figures, $4.99 each, sale. So I kind of just rattled that around in my head as I was looking around the shop, and I was like, you know what? We're going to do this video once and for all. We're going to find out what people think. Now, as you can see, some of the prices that were on the figures originally, $13.99 for this Borg figure, this mechanically enhanced cybernetic humanoid. $9.99 for this William T. Riker, or number 2. $8.99 for this Essoqq, the member of the Chanach race. $8.99 for this Captain Jean-Luc Picard as Dixon Hill. $8.99 for this Lieutenant Commander, I was thinking Gordy. They don't have Gordy on there. Lieutenant Commander LaForge as a Takarian 3 alien. And it even gives you the little episode there that it comes, that is out of. And then finally, this Lieutenant Worf in Starfleet Rescue outfit. So we're going to open all 6 of these up today. We're going to kind of talk about them, and I'm going to tell you why. This is kind of like one of the things that I very rarely, if ever, have ever seen anybody discuss that's a toy collector. I see people collect the weirdest things on YouTube. It'll be, some of them are classic and they're really, really expensive figures. Dino Riders, Mask, having complete G.I. Joe collections and things like that. I literally can't remember ever seeing somebody that has been a full-on I've got to have every single figure that came out with Star Trek The Next Generation. My question is, why? These came out, let's see here, 1993. So you're right at the end of the 80s toy boom, going into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and things like that. You would think if there was a kid that watched the Star Trek The Next Generation, they would have loved having some of these toys for pretend play. Therein lies where I think this first starts. I don't really think the Star Trek The Next Generation was ever a kid's show or ever meant to be a kid's show. It was meant to be more of an adult show for people that had watched the original Star Trek series to kind of give a further, a new generation of stories to that ethos. That means that adults would be the ones collecting these figures. So adults that collected these figures probably weren't going to be as fully invested as a kid who now today would have the nostalgia for wanting these figures. Let's just be honest. A lot of the people that bought these figures that were adults when this came out are very old in their collecting life. A lot of the folks, unfortunately, may have even passed away at this point who were really into Star Trek: The Next Generation or Star Trek. So you're left with just thousands of Star Trek figures littering antique stores everywhere with nobody really wanting them. So hopefully my video can change that, because I actually think there are some really awesome figures in these sets. Are they the greatest figures? No. Are they the worst figures ever? Absolutely not. We're going to start today's video by opening this Riker figure. Now, as you can see, this comes with a bonus Starfleet action base, Starfleet gear. He has a hand phaser, a directional UV source, and a field kit with detached analyzer. So you get a lot of little things in here. You've got a cool looking Riker, and you get a card that you can collect as well. So I personally think that there are some of these figures, not all of them, as we're going to discuss in a couple of minutes, but there are quite a few that are really, really cool. Now, here is that little Starfleet base that you can use as a standee for your figure. And as you can see right there, it has Riker on it. So let's go ahead and get this thing cut open here so we can take a look at that. And what about you guys? Have you thought of a toy line that you can't believe has never really taken off or was never as popular as you thought that maybe it should be? I honestly can think of quite a few, but I can't think of anything that I see as much and as cheap. There are times where you can find these Star Trek figures for as cheap as $2.99, $3.99 at thrift stores and things like that. So it would be an easy collection to start and to build, but nobody seems to want to do it. Maybe that's what I do on this channel. If you guys want to see me try to build the entire Starfleet or Star Trek: The Next Generation collection, let me know in the comments. Maybe it's something I could have a little series of videos where we try to go out and get all of them. Now, here is that William T. Riker card made by Skybox. We're going to put that right over on the side. And here is the figure. Now, what's cool is, as you can see, for this age figure, swivel arm, elbows, does not have any hand movement, but he has a little hand to hold his blaster. His head moves, articulates there. His legs, his knees. So you definitely get a decent amount of articulation, almost as much as a G.I. Joe figure of the time, but he does have like this weird hand where he's saying, whoa, stop. Over on the side here, see, we come to the stand test here. Will he stand pretty easily? Yep. In this little side, we have all those little accessories that it talked about. And these are really kind of cool. Very well made. Just a little case here. He's got his little blaster that has the little blast ray coming out of it there. A little phaser or whatever. Really kind of funny. And hopefully some of you at this point are making the little pew pew. It almost looks like a little sword the way that it's really kind of hard to fit in his hand. Now, to be honest with you guys, I've never bought or owned a Star Wars figure before, so I'm going to be discovering this just like you guys are. Now, this would be very difficult, I would think, to... Oh, you know what? Maybe it goes like that. Let's see. There you go. So it's kind of weird that it has that, but he's saying stop. Pew, pew. All right. So you do have all these little things here, which are kind of interesting. Is this... Let's see. Where does this fit in? Okay, so this looks like it has a little nub, like it would fit into something, but I don't really see any place it would fit in other than maybe here, but that's not correct. So you've got all these little pieces that are just kind of like extra pieces. They were not going to fit into that hand. They can't really fit into here and close. Now it does sit in there like that, but it doesn't fit in there and close. So if we were to close that case up and kind of put it on his hand, his hey stop hand, it doesn't really look that great on there, to be honest with you. I mean, you can kind of put it like that, but it doesn't look realistic. So I'm going to have to call this figure a fail. The figure itself looks great. It's a great representation of number 2. But when you try to play with the accessories with it, it really is a representation of a different kind of number 2. Let's put him on his little base back there and move on to the next figure. Let's see. Let's see. Now, this one wasn't the one that I thought I was going to have a huge issue with. I thought this one would probably be like one of the more fun ones. I thought that this one was going to be the one that proved the point of how terrible some of these figures are. And this is Lieutenant Commander LaForge as a Takarian 3 alien as seen in Identity Crisis episode. So it comes with a searchlight, a field kit, a UV source, and a medical monitor. Now, this figure is really, really weird looking. He looks like a walking piece of, well, you guessed it, which is kind of weird, but now it does come with this little LaForge standee. These are almost as cool as the figures themselves. That's really kind of neat. So we'll put that back there. Didn't have to worry about any little plastic nubbies back then when these figures came out. Wasn't really a thing, just kind of put them in there with the molded plastic and it worked just fine. Hello, toy companies of today. Could we get back to that, please? Now, this figure is honestly pretty terrible, especially looks-wise. Now, this one, as you can see, this is a space cap, almost like a milk cap, I guess, where you can kind of pop that out. Collect each space cap with Playmate Star Trek The Next Generation action figure. So that pops right out of there. And there's the little collector series right there. Let you pause that if you want. We'll put that right over. Now, he comes with a little case as well. These little cases are kind of interesting, but now this one comes with the same. I'm guessing this is the UV light source. Or maybe this? I really don't know. This is one of the things I'm starting to see really quickly about these figures is what are the accessories and what are they there for? Now, I know you can pretend and play with them however you would like to play with them, but it's also kind of cool to see like, hey, he uses this to do this. But let's look at this figure a little closer. This figure is so terrible that it's almost kind of cool looking. But, I mean, just look at that. That is atrociously bad. Number one, he looks like he's naked. He's covered with these like blue veins or whatever. And he definitely has like an alien face going there. So really, really weird figure to say the least. Then he comes with a bunch of stuff that doesn't fit in his hand. So kind of pointless. This little thing looks like it would. So let's see here. If we can get that in his hand. Yeah, that goes in his hand. It doesn't stay solid, but he definitely can hold it. And then this hand is a little bit better than the number 2 hand. It looks like it could actually hold the little case like that. So I will give it to this figure that at least it can hold a couple of the little accessories. It obviously would be able to hold this one if you wanted it to, but we're going to leave it just like it is and we're going to move on. Now, weird figure. Maybe to some, this would be pretty awesome. This is the 1940s styled accessories, a pistol, a rotary phone, and a floor lamp. A floor lamp? What? You get a floor lamp with your Captain Picard? Now, I know he's not in his Starfleet uniform, but do you need a floor lamp? Oh my gosh. I'm starting to see it, guys. I'm starting to see it. But the way my mind works, these are so terrible. I could see 6 months from now me having about 50 of these in my collection. I'm just being honest with you. These are absolutely atrocious. Just atrocious. Now this one has a little, look at that. They made an alien out of me t-shirt. I wonder how many of these are floating around and what that would be worth today. Because I can't imagine that many people ordered this t-shirt. That is pretty funny. If I can find this t-shirt on eBay, I'll post it right here. If I can't, there's going to be nothing I'm pointing at. But I'm going to see if I can find this shirt because that is hilarious. All right. Now, he does come with his Dixon Hill nameplate. So, weird. Why not just put Captain Picard even if he is dressed up? But, all right, Dixon Hill, you got it, buddy. And there's your lamp, people. For all of you that were hoping to get a lamp, a 3 3/4, 5 inch, whatever scale lamp for your action figures, you're in luck. Now, another space cap here, this time with Picard as Dixon Hill. And the Picard figure itself, if you watch these episodes and you know that he pops in and out of all these different places in disguise sometimes, this is actually kind of a cool figure. I wanted to get something a little bit different than just something in his uniform, but it's kind of a cool figure. He can definitely, looks like maybe, well, I said definitely. Nope, the pistol does not stay in that hand, so let's try this hand. Is he a lefty? A lefty shooter? There we go. So he can at least hold his pistol in his left hand. Again, not really sure that anybody asked for it, but you get a little phone, a little rotary phone, and a lamp. So, yeah, there you go. Maybe he could just hold it like this. Who knows? This is one of the oddest accessories I've ever seen with an action figure. Legitimately one of the oddest accessories. But we're going to put him right back here on his little stand. And we're going to look at this Worf. Now, this one I thought would be the one that it was just terrible. It looks like it's really boring, doesn't really have a lot of stuff. I thought this one would rival the LaForge for the worst Star Trek figure that I picked up that day, but I don't know. I really don't know, guys. And look at that. He has his little Klingon. As you can see, I know some of the lingo. I loved Star Trek The Next Generation. Loved it. Never in a million years wanted any figures from it, though. I don't think that they were really marketed and geared towards people like me. By the early 90s, I was in high school and really wasn't into collecting action figures anyway. So these definitely didn't appeal, I don't think, to 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, and things like that were going to be pretend playing with action figures. All right, let's see. So this Worf is a fairly decent size figure. The sculpt is kind of interesting. Lots of detail on it. He has a really interesting head sculpt there. Looks good. Looks like he did in the show. Stand test. He's got a lean, but he stands. Again, a little space cap. Look at that. Oh, the smolder. Oh, yeah. And then he's got a backpack. Now, let's see how easy this backpack is to get on him. Hey, there you go. Not too bad. So, thumbs up for that. Then he's got a bunch of just other stuff here. I didn't even look at it, and I've already ripped the package now, so just other stuff. He looks like he comes with a hula hoop. That's awesome. A sword. And whatever these things are. Now this tape is still sticky after all these years. But yeah, just a couple of little things. We'll call them thingamabobs right now. So he doesn't really have a hand. Look at the hands again. There's no fists to hold anything. So you kind of just have to do that. Okay. All right, so let's put Worf on his little stand here. Put him right there, let's say. Don't want to knock that lamp over. Now let's take a look at this guy, this Essoqq. Now, I picked him because pretty big there. Looks like a weighty figure. Let's see what he looks like out of the package. Oh, I forgot to look there. He comes with a knife, leg sheath, food something, and chain something, and a communicator. Something, and something. And then he comes with a really weird little base here. All right. Let's see if we can get into that. Whoops. I just don't know, guys. Like, these figures, like, I literally see these figures everywhere. And what's funny is there are still some antique booths and some people out there that try to charge $15, $20 for these figures. They're just not worth that on the collector's market. They're probably not even worth $2 or $3. Now that one looks like he's a little piece of wood almost. So we'll put that over there. And let's get this figure out. Now he's started to yellow, his blister has. But he still looks pretty nice. And again, a weird figure, but kind of a neat looking figure. Again, articulation. Just a weird head. Very stiff from being closed up all these years. Stand test. He falls, but just a little bit of manipulation. I think we can get him. It's weird. His foot is bent in a position like that, almost like he's meant to stand like that. And there it is. And he stands right up when you do that. More space caps. Now, this dude is really kind of weird looking. A little Beauty and the Beast action. Maybe right there. And then a bunch of purple weapons. Just what every bad guy wants. A purple weapon. But we'll go ahead and peel these off of the tape here. Put those little ones down there because we're not even going to worry about that. We're just going to see if we can fit his sword into his hand. This looks like the only hand that would be even close to being able to hold a sword. The crazy thing is the sword is kind of cool looking, but it's purple. It's purple, people. Why could we not just do plain black accessories for every figure? I just, that's beyond me, but whatever. So yeah, he can hold his little knife, his little sword. He's ready to like go after somebody. And then this side, it's got like a little, almost like those little plastic rings you would wear. This would fit, I guess, like right over, whoa, right over his arm there. See if we can get that around there. Okay. So it doesn't stay up there nicely, but there's nothing really to go into that. Oh, that's the, ay. What am I thinking? That is his little sword sheath. Now, there you go. So that's that guy. And now this I thought would be the coolest figure of the lot, because the Borg was quite honestly what saved Star Trek The Next Generation. The show was good right out of the gate, but if it weren't for the Borg, I think the Star Trek The Next Generation would have fallen on hard times much, much faster. The Borg was a really, really cool addition to the Star Trek universe. The interactions with Seven of Nine and things like that really, really kind of revitalized the show, in my opinion. So this Borg is the one that I was looking most forward to opening. And we see multifunctional rotation arm, hydraulic, mechanical ram arm, shield generator, and coils with this guy. Now, I am building the Leaning Tower of Star Trek over on my left here, so let's hope it doesn't fall back into camera shot here, but let's see. There we go. A little Borg. Almost looks like a belt buckle a little bit, but it's a pretty cool stand. And let's see. It's a really nice looking figure, I think. Now this one you do get a Skybox card, so that's kind of cool. And then look at this. You actually get a silver arm, the secondary arm that you can switch out. And the little accessories are made with black plastic. So these little hoses, I'm assuming, are meant to kind of attach like this. I don't want to lose these. I don't want Miss Olive getting any of those in her little mouth. So we're going to just put those over on the side for now. And we're going to take a look at this Borg figure because this dude is pretty cool. I mean, look at the articulation. Same as all the other figures. Head, twisty arm, elbow, waist, thigh, knee. Just as cool as the other figures. Now, he does have this really slanted foot. So I'm not sure how easily he is going to stand. But it definitely looks like he was made to, let's see, like he was made to be like leaning or something. It's really kind of weird, to be honest with you, because you don't have any hip flex. So without that stand, you're going to have a hard time getting this guy to actually be posable. I actually did it. Hey, there you go. So I was actually able to get him to stand up without the stand, but was, as you can see, it took me a few tries. Now this arm, again, really, really cool. Reminds me of the G.I. Joe Bats, Trapjaw from Masters of the Universe. Look at that head, guys. That head sculpt is awesome. Really, really cool figure all in all. I absolutely love this figure. The foot is weird, granted, but just in general, he looks like a bad guy. He looks like something you would want to pretend play with. And he does come with another, just like a battering ram arm that you could use. Now, I am not going to pop this one out of there. I like the way this looks. I love this one compared to this one. But guys, let me know what you think. What do you think about these Star Trek figures? I really, really am curious. That's why I posted this. I hope that this video gets 10 million views because I'd love to hear 10 million thoughts on Star Trek figures. I just don't get how they were such a massive flop and continue to be so till today. But guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I really appreciate you watching today's video, and just to let you know, this lamp is still terrible. Thanks guys for watching.